Please welcome the athletes to the field of play for the Recurve men's semi-final matchup number 2.
Time now for the second semi-final in the Recurve men's competition here in Shanghai, the second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. It's time to welcome the athletes.
On target number 1, representing China,
Zhongyuan.
On target number 2, representing Brazil,
2号吧，来自巴西。
Marcus D'Almeida. The line judge for this matchup is
起射线裁判
Hussein Nasirinija.
So here we go, a name that we're pretty familiar with, seeing as he sits at the top of the San Leader World Rankings. It's Brazil's Marcus D'Almeida at 25 years old, taking on the 20-year-old Zhongyuan from China, world number 183. Has already got team gold in Antalya, the first stage. But a little bit of an unknown. He's certainly got something about him, this young Chinese archer.
Yeah, and he was shooting quite well in the team event, so he has some experience on this finals venue already. But Marcus has just been shooting really, really high scores in his eliminations and also in the ranking round in the pouring rain.
9.
9
Yeah, said he sort of wanted to become at one with the rain, effectively, just let it wash over him, quite literally. But that is the start that the Chinese supporters wanted from Zhongyuan.
Yeah, and he couldn't help but let a cheeky smile escape there after the crowd just went wild for that X.
Got to maintain his composure, though.
10.
I think they've got a mic right in the middle of the Chinese section of the crowd here in Shanghai.
It almost sounds like it.
9.
9
Really good group by Marcus. Yeah, he's adjusting his sight right there. I think that's a good move. But then 9 will give the first set to Zhongyuan. 10 will as well.
9's not enough, chef.
30环满环的开。
Started with aplomb.
Perfect score, perfect start.
2-0, but not just 2-0. A perfect 30 to start things off. I mean, that will calm the nerves for sure, but it also is a demonstration that he's going to be having these peaks of sound, especially if he scores well, as we heard in that, and he's able to maintain his composure through that. It's going to be key if he's going to make it through.
Yeah, and I think now he's probably, riding the high of the crowd, and that it is going to wear off because you cannot have that up and down in emotion and in adrenaline all the time. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can maintain this level of shooting for the rest of the match. We know that Marcus has been shooting really high scores throughout the whole tournament. Zhongyuan also shot really high scores, but not quite to the same extent as Marcus.
So time for the second set here. Marcus D'Almeida from Brazil will shoot first. World number 1 trailing by 2 set points to 0.
9.
Yeah, that was not the greatest shot by him. You can see that he's a bit disappointed, but no man overboard just yet.
10. 9.
What's very treacherous in a situation like this, where your opponent shoots a perfect score and then you shoot another 9 and they just start off with another 10, is that you might start thinking, oh, I cannot permit to shoot anything outside of the 10 ring. Well, I was going to say anything can still happen. results from the past don't mean anything for the future, is what I'm trying to say.
And that goes arrow for arrow in archery, especially in the set system. A 10 to share the points. Oh, it's called 10 very confidently in venue. We've marked it down for a measure. Chef Vandenberg, have a feel for that one?
Yeah, the feel is a 10, but I'm happy to leave this to the judge.
Or is it a 10? As we impatiently await the
critical call, this one.
Of course, it'll have an incidence on the number of set points both archers have.
Magnifying glass is out. And you were right, Chef. That has been marked up. And a good job for Lee, who it means they do share the points.
Zhongyuan.
李中原的最后一箭被裁判判定为实环，这样他这一局就与他的对手。
Oh, hold on a second. Was that marked down?
It's either fault in the scoring system or it was marked down rather than up. But I think.
Well, a great 2023 season for Lee, already walking away from Antalya, Turkey, with a gold medal.
A bit of confusion here. We're just waiting for confirmation of those scores. And it has now come through that it was marked up to a 28 for Li Zhongyuan, and that means they share the set points, and Li Zhongyuan leads by 3 set points to 1 as Marcus D'Almeida, closest to us from Brazil, takes a deep breath at the start of set number 3.
8.
Well, it's a very costly 8, I think, at this point in the match, where Li Zhongyuan is gaining confidence by shooting all those 10s.
9.
9.
10.
10.
Dead center.
What's interesting about Marcus D'Almeida is that he burst onto the scene as, I think, a 15-year-old or something. He went to the World Cup final in his first World Cup season in 2014, from the top of my head, in Lausanne. That was right after he got the silver in Nanjing.
10.
And he actually got the silver behind Lee Woo-suk, who we saw earlier today, shooting in the mixed team and the men's team event. So there's a couple archers here that are not necessarily very old yet, but have been around for some time.
Yeah, bags of experience, that's for sure. I mean, Marcus D'Almeida is definitely not old. He's just 25 years old. He's played a bit of a blinder there after that 8, popped it in for 2 10s, and we've seen just a slight dip from a very, very high good form from Lee, shooting a 26 that time. D'Almeida as well, number 1, would expect to be at 26.
Yeah, which he did. I think this might be what I was referring to earlier, where Lee was getting out of the gates really fast, high on adrenaline from the crowd, from competing in his first individual top 4 on a world stage, and it just kind of died down a bit. So the adrenaline will make you more focused if you can channel it. And then if that wears off, then you might get a bit numb for what you're doing. And I think that's maybe what's happening here.
Well, it's resulted in a tied score, 3 set points apiece. Marcus D'Almeida shooting first in the 4th.
10.
Getting a nice streak going here with his 3rd 10 in a row.
10.
Ooh, there was a little bit of a flinch there, but he recovered it well before shooting the arrow.
Perfect from D'Almeida. He's definitely settled into his rhythm. It's been a bit up and down from Lee.
8.
And that is proof that that will continue. A 28 from him means that Dalmeida has come from 3-1 down to lead 5-3, taking the last 2 sets and looking comfortable.
Yeah, he does. He hasn't been shooting bad in the last 3 ends as well. He shot 328. It's just that nowadays a 28 won't necessarily get you many points because the level is just so high now.
Will he be able to force a single arrow shootout?
现在4局比赛结束，现在场上的比分是3-5，领先的是2号靶来自巴西的马库斯。
So we've been in this situation before where an athlete is at 5 points, 5 set points, and in Marcus's case, and his advantage is that he only has to tie the next set to win this match. So whatever Lee musters up here, if Marcus can tie his score, then Marcus is going to the gold medal match.
A very critical gold medal match it is, the winner of whom books a place in the Hyundai Archery World Cup final. Feels like this one may have something left in it though for Lee.
9.
He hasn't shot very many 9s so far, Lee, but he shot a bunch of 10s and a couple 8s mostly.
10.
6th 10 in a row for the Brazilian.
9.
This could ease the pressure on the 3rd arrow. Can he pop it into the 9 or 10?
10.
He pops it into the 10. So 3 9s for a 27. Big opportunity here for Marcus Dalmeida to make the gold medal match in Shanghai. A 7 will do it.
Oh, 10, 10, 10.
And he finishes with a second perfect 10-10-10 for a 30 and a 7-3 victory over Li Zhongyuan. A great performance from the Chinese athlete, and he will go through to the bronze medal match. But Marcus Dalmeida had to dig deep to get through that one, but in the end those 2 perfects have lined him up perfectly for a great final.